All right, guys, welcome back to Grind Time, your weekly sneaker rundown. It's another expansion episode, something like that. Working out something, trying out something. It's your boy Daniel, and you got Jay here in the building. Before we get going, as always, guys, let's get a little cheers in there. And I must address something before we get too deep into it. Excuse my voice. I'm getting over a little bit of a sickness, so if you hear that raspiness, that's what that is. Hopefully I don't cough up too much here. All right, guys, we're trying out something a little bit different now. Wanted to give you guys a quickly weekly rundown of what's going on in the state of kicks. Little temperature check, as you will. Big things happening in the world of sports right now. Knicks just won the finals. Round of applause for that. Oh, Jay's not too happy about that. Were you actually a Spurs fan?
Nah, man. Really, I'm a Bucks fan.
Okay,
you know
okay.
What I'm saying? So, like, I'm glad to see a team out the East won, but you know how people from New York is. You ain't never heard the end of it. So
that was my fear. Is like, out of anybody out of the East, I wanted the Knicks to take it if it wasn't going to be anybody out of the East, but that was my concern. Is like, we're never going to hear the end of this.
Nah.
At least for a solid 5 years. That's all people are just going to be talking shit. Especially if they run it back somehow, which I don't know if they will. The Spurs is looking crazy if they're able to come back.
Yeah.
Get rid of De'Aaron Fox is my
ASAP.
Yeah, it's 3 for 15 last night. Oh my god. Anyways, not too much to dive into the sports aspect. Well, maybe we'll dive into it because one thing we wanted to talk about was the different kicks that we saw throughout the playoffs and in the finals. Before we started recording, we were talking a little bit about seeing a lot of Kobe's on feet. Brunson famously has a lot of those Kobe PEs. I believe last night he was wearing a Statue of Liberties.
It was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough.
We have had a pair in store that was sitting for a while and someone finally snatched it up. I wonder if Nike's going to re-release that one. I think they should.
They might. Hey, they like last episode, they've releasing a lot of stuff in the vault right now.
Yeah.
And with Bronson and his connections to Kobe and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was expecting a pack. Like, I'm pleasantly surprised when they do like those shock drops of having stuff in the chamber, and as soon as a big event happens, there's like a sneaker release. But we didn't get that. I was a little disappointed. I ain't gonna lie.
For sure, because you also got to think about like the type of athletes that came out of the Knicks organization from Melo, and then like I know you probably saw the pack they had made for Spike Lee. His pairs was crazy. Like on the Jordan tip with it, like they was crazy. But Nike, man, do something different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
to get a rundown of some other stuff, I remember seeing Jose Alvarado was wearing And1s, which was crazy. Bringing And1 back. They were showing a bunch of the different pairs that he wear. I forgot the exact model. But I know they did some blue and orange makeups for him and some And1 shoes. I'm trying to think of what else I saw on the court that kind of stuck out. I think the biggest thing was the Kobe stuff, like we said, different people wearing Kobe's. I know Mikal Bridges was wearing some Jaws. I'm trying to think of what else I saw on the court that kind of stood out to me. Anything else, even from the playoffs?
Hey, man, from like the most heat that I saw was probably in the stands. And like Fat Joe, DJ Khaled. What's the Timothy Chalamet guy?
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, they came with heat. Everybody has something cool. I want to say one of them was wearing like a linen 95. I want to say.
Oh yeah, Fat Joe had that
crazy.
That like Kith. I don't know if it's an official Kith collab, to be honest, but I know it's like obviously Kith famous for bringing back that linen Air Force. I could be wrong. It could be a Kith collab, but I'm not sure if that's official or not. But yeah. That linen 95 is crazy.
It was sick. I got the Air Force One, the linen Air Force One, and like
still need that one, by the way.
Quality on those is top tier, and if it's a Kith collab, it's about to go like astronomical. Like it's about to go crazy.
They always bring crazy stuff whenever they do Kith. They dropped a bunch of shirts last night after they won. I remember seeing that. Yeah, everybody was dropping shirts. New York's going crazy. I'm trying to think of anything else that kind of stood out. Well, I guess the bigger topic too I wanted to talk about with that is more like athletes in general with signature sneakers. Like, is that really moving the needle?
No.
Like we talk about Brunson, but he doesn't technically have a signature sneaker. Is just wearing PE colorways of the Kobe's, which I don't necessarily have a problem with. I know there's this kind of thing in the air, like, is he gonna be the official face of Kobe brand, like, going forward? But I guess, like you said, they're not moving the needle. It's crazy to see, like, perfect opportunity, like what's going on right now. We have the playoffs and then the finals, and then all the stuff going on with the World Cup as well. But the signature athletes aren't really moving sneakers. It's crazy.
I think it's the type of athlete that Nike, well, not even the type of athlete. I think it's the type of shoe that Nike is putting out, because even if we look at years past with like the 1's model, when he won his chip and everything too, like we didn't even get no crazy colorways then. I feel like we haven't seen a great Nike basketball era since like that 2008 to about 2015 time period.
Yeah.
And everything since then has just kind of been like on the tail end of it. The one person that got a good signature shoe right now though is Ja.
The
People
3
standing behind the Ja 3.
Yeah.
Like those is crazy.
I think the other thing that kind of hinders that too, though, is just the moments with the athletes. Is like you were saying, if there's not too many big moments, like Ja was hurt a lot of the season too, so there wasn't no big playoff push, no like crazy game like 50, 60, Bam Adebayo 80-point game that they could have celebrated.
Exactly.
So I think the numbers too, when you think about like how many athletes does Nike have, like you said, there's KD, there's still LeBron. We got Wemby, which technically doesn't have a signature, but there's supposedly one coming. You have Ja, you have Book, Sabrina Ionescu, Asia Wilson. I'm trying to think. I know something's slipping. Giannis. Like, even I think Cade Cunningham, they were trying to push with that GT Cup future.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of signature athletes. And I don't know if I would say it's diluted, but when there's too many options, maybe that's kind of a hindrance also. Like you were saying, that recent golden era, we really only had 3 big athletes. So KD, maybe
Kobe and LeBron.
Yeah, maybe the effort being divided is kind of hurting that.
And that's the thing too as well. Like, if you think of a KD, a Kobe, and a LeBron, like take their signature shoes out of it and just look at them for the athlete and what they do in the NBA.
Yeah.
For that time period, those was like the 3 most dominant players in their respective markets. But now it's just like the league is so open. I don't think there's ever been a time period outside of what we're going through now where there hasn't been like a repeat champion.
Yeah.
Like the 90s, you had the Bulls, 2000s, the Spurs and the Lakers, you know, Bron.
Multiple championship winners. Yeah. That's interesting. You say multiple champions too, kind of segued into another thing we wanted to talk about was the move with Curry going to Li-Ning. He's going to be the second person on Li-Ning, joining Dwayne Wade. But did you watch the reveal video?
I didn't. And that's on me for not watching that at all.
I happened to see a piece of it. Somebody pointed out something specific. He says a couple of lines in there that I guess people were interpreting as like taking shots at Nike. He was saying something to the effect of like choosing to go with a brand who is rooted in innovation and like not losing their way and focusing on like lifestyle. Of course, I'm like paraphrasing, but it's something to that effect of like his choice was driven by that. And another thing that person pointed out when they were talking about that was he wore a bunch of different shoes. So, I mean, he kind of was wear testing what everybody had. So let me test what every single brand has to offer and then make my choice based on things that I've actually played in. So it's like, oh, Li-Ning maybe had the best tech out of any of the companies. So I'm sure that kind of helped influences too if you want to focus on strictly performance. Any thoughts?
Man, I got to give it out to Curry. He a Carolina boy just like I am, you know what I'm saying? So like seeing him wear different shoes, that whole like free agency reminded me of like when Kobe was going through his free agency, just wearing different stuff. And it was cool to see him. You might see Curry in a pair of 12s. He might switch it up and throw some Tracy McGrady's on.
He had a bunch of crazy stuff, man. He was pulling out stuff from every brand too.
Yeah.
Like digging in the crates, bringing out OPEs from people and stuff. That was a legendary run. There definitely needs to be a montage, put him up of like top 20 shoes that he wore in his free agency.
The only shoe he didn't wear in that free agency was a pair of Dadas with the spinners. On the side. But he had a pretty sick run. I'm kind of curious of how that partnership's going to work out though, just because like in America, Nike, Adidas, and shoot, Under Armour and Reebok is kind of like our top, and New Balance is getting into the basketball game now too. So with a Chinese brand coming in with the top player, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, I think there's several questions that it kind of raises. Like longevity is one of them that I think about. Like how many more years is he gonna play? Especially at a high level. Because I definitely think we're in that era of like changing of the guard from all the past three big players. I would say him, KD, LeBron, kind of winding down, and the new generation coming up. So, is it a situation where they sign other athletes underneath them? Like, is that something that's a possibility? And maybe he establishes the Curry brand, but then they also have a stable of like 2 or 3 athletes that wear his product also. One thing I know Chinese brands are really good at, especially it's like evident with the Kyrie stuff, is like they come to market pretty quickly. Yeah. Like they're able to pump out stuff. Essentially, I don't know if Li-Ning has the same pipeline like an Anta does, but like since they're developing everything themselves also, the process is a lot shorter than like a Nike. Whereas like they're working on a shoe now that's not coming out till next year. I know Anta's pipeline is a lot shorter than that, like sometimes up to like 6 months, if not even shorter. But maybe not to mass market, but definitely like getting something for Kyrie to wear. I'm sure they have the same speed with Anta and like the Curry stuff. So
yeah. I think it will be up there in that alley because you even got to think about like where a lot of shoes and stuff is being produced at. So if shoes is already being produced in China, if they got to go into a lab and be like, all right, this is what the player wants, this is what we need. Kind of like with Book, right?
Yeah.
His last model, he didn't have the it was like the heel guard or something that was missing, and a lot of players was like, oh, I don't want to wear the Books because they're missing that. But his model now, they have like that toe guard or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That the players like is adapting to. And so with a company like Li-Ning, like Curry just signed to, it's gonna streamline that process because they already know what the market's about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they should be good, man.
I think the one thing too is carving out a lane. Like I don't think they should try to replicate what Jordan does. I think in a lot of people's heads they have that kind of misconception of like if it's not like Jordan's brand, maybe in the sense of scale, that it's like not successful or doesn't like equal up, but like they're in their own lanes doing their own things, like with apparel and other kind of partnerships and stuff they could do. Possibilities are endless, man. So best of luck to that partnership, man. I can't wait to see what they come up with. Only thing I would say is hopefully the distribution is a little bit better, because I know with the Way of Wade Li-Ning stuff, you could only get it like online. It was so hard to get. I remember people would ask at various times when I was working at different places about trying to get their hands on it. And I'm just like, man, it's online. Like I honestly didn't know a physical store where you could have went in and bought them. So hopefully they can fix that, and more fans statesides can get their hands on that stuff.
That's one of the bad things about working at shoe stores and stuff, because we both have a history of retail and everything. So whenever you're working at these stores and someone's asking you like, oh, well, how do you get that? And this, that, and the third, and you're like, oh, we don't even sell it. You automatically become like the back door, like bad guy.
Public enemy number one.
Facts.
So on the flip side of that, one other thing to talk about is Nike's decision to kind of vault the Jordan 1 and like slow down on releasing colorways. I think there's something we've kind of seen coming for a while. Like Jordan 1s are kind of out of favor with a lot of fans, I would say, and a lot of collectors. Lows have a slower, like slight demand, not to anything of what the demand was for the highs a few years back. But I guess Nike is officially making that choice to kind of vault it. This is something that they've done in the past with like models. They kind of had that cycle where they would bring out a model and it had a year run. And then the next year it would kind of be a new set of models. It was usually like 2 or 3 different shoes. But it feels like lately they've kind of been focusing on a lot of Jordan 4s. So I think that model has kind of switched up. But what are your thoughts? Decision to shelve it?
I'm excited, low key, because I feel like since about 2015, we've seen nothing but straight Jordan 1s. Yeah. And we come from a time period where like when we was coming up, Jordan 1's wasn't really like we have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
It was really like 11 or, you know what I'm saying, even 5's and 9's used to get love. But we seen that same cycle that those shoes went through with the Jordan 1. And then when you think about the reimagine and what they was doing, it kind of turned a lot of people off. So long as they release an OG like every 2 or 3 years just to keep us, you know, with a fresh pair, we should be good. But just the amount of ones that was coming out, like it seemed like a new pair dropped every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So. And then I think they started running out of ideas where it was like drawing at straws with some of the colorways they released. That like atomic orange one comes to mind. That like black and pink one comes to mind. Biohack was kind of starting when the craze was going down, but they just started releasing too many colorways and obscure colorways too. So I'm a little sad because I'm a big Jordan 1 guy, just from that standpoint. But like I just said, there was releasing too many just weird colorways. So maybe it is time to give it a break. Let it cool out. Let people miss it for a while, and then, you know, bring back some of the classics. Like, don't have to go too crazy. I still think they'll do some of the special event collabs, like an all-star Jordan 1. So maybe there'll be like 4 releases a year, but that's definitely something that had came out recently as a big announcement from Jordan and Nike. That's going to be it as far as the topics we have, man. I mean, we just want to give a weekly rundown on what we're expecting this upcoming week with releases. So we'll just run through that, guys, and give you guys a little sneak peek of what some things you guys should look out for.
You just made the list!
All right, guys. Some upcoming releases we wanted to talk about, just to kind of get some thoughts. Upcoming this week, June 16th, the Nike CryoShock collection. Nike actually teamed up with 7 different companies, all from across the globe in celebration of the World Cup. Gave every one of them a CryoShot 2 and let them kind of do their thing with it. What are we feeling about those? Have you got a chance to see them?
I've seen a couple of the colorways, and I think it's like a yellow pair that stands
out. The Nocta one, yeah, Canada. Yeah, I think it's a good little project, especially right now. Everyone's in full World Cup mode. Everyone's got collabs dropping. We were just talking a little bit ago off cam about the Travis collection that he dropped on his website of a bunch of the jerseys. Those are all look pretty sick too. So definitely keep an eye out for that CryoShock drop. That's happening again, June 16th. Next thing we got kind of on the list here, on the 17th, the KD19 Field Purple. How are we feeling about those?
It's just another KD.
Another KD?
And,
I think that it's kind of cool. I wouldn't wear it personally. My only gripe really with the 19, the way it's kind of built, is it feels like they're going to be limited with color options.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because they kind of did something in the same vein of like the GT Cut Future. So it kind of has like that foam posit kind of look where it's all like one unibody upper. So like solid colorways is the only things that I saw. But all purple shoe kind of reminds me of what Adidas is doing with the Harden, but not up my alley. But if you like that, again, that's coming out in the 17th. Next on 6/18, we got a pair of New Balances, some 991 V2s. There's a pink colorway coming, mahogany rose, and then a kind of seafoamish colorway coming called Sea Glass. Not sure your thoughts on New Balances, you big New Balance 991 guy?
I will always have love for New Balance. The pink joints, they sound crazy. I haven't personally seen them yet, but if they're hard, I'm definitely putting those on the toe, man. Shout out to the DMV.
Yeah, New Balance. If you guys are really big into those, especially those made in the UK models, check those out. Those are coming out June 18th. And then on the 19th, we got the Ama Maniere Pegasus Premium Pack. There's that black and pink pair, and then there's also like a white and black pair that are coming out. Nike's been doing a bunch of crazy stuff with Pegasus lately. Now it's Ama Maniere's turn to kind of do their thing. So if you're feeling those, I would check those out. Have you seen those yet, Jay?
I'm all lost, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, no.
I haven't seen those either, but hey, Ama Maniere, they're known for their quality, and what they do bring. Like they bring creativity to all their collabs and stuff like that. So they're not on my radar yet, but I got a feeling they're not gonna miss. Like the Whitaker group does not miss when it comes to collabs. So. Yeah,
man, I definitely want to check out their new space they just opened recently too. That would be dope. And then lastly, we have on the list June 20th. Which is next Sunday, I believe. Next Saturday, I believe. Sorry, got my dates mixed up there. That's the Jordan 5 Black and University Blue. I know you were talking about those earlier. You gonna get those?
Definitely. I gotta get 2 pair, man. Like, for one, it's a 5. I've slowed down on my love for 5s lately, but the fact that that's a UNC colorway, you know what I'm saying? I'm from North Carolina, and UNC is the greatest college on earth.
Gotta represent.
You gotta rep, man.
So yeah, definitely. I think the last time those came out, I want to say it was like early 2000s. If I'm not mistaken, 2007, 2008.
I think so.
I know it was one of those LS shoes. A lot of people don't remember those days unless you're an old head like me. But yeah, I mean, I think people are going to feel those. It's a simple colorway, black with the contrast stitching and the UNC blue teeth. So that's definitely a clean pair. If you guys are on the lookout for a pair of 5s, maybe you didn't get metallics, that might be a good one to check out. So that's coming June 20th.
Sorry to cut you off with that one as well too. I heard the stock on that is surprisingly low.
Really?
I heard there's only probably like 50 to 100K pairs. So depending on how it goes, it's supposed to be kind of a limited kind of release.
Drop?
Quick strike for sure.
Yeah, so just keep an eye out, guys. If you really want that, make sure you guys are doing your raffles. Do your raffles. Do what you got to do. Sign up. Freaking backdoor, whatever you got to do if you're trying to get them 5s. Make sure you guys go out and get them. So that's going to do it for the weekly release wrap-up, guys. I think that's going to be it for the show, man. It was nice and sweet. As always, Jay, cheers. All right, guys. Until next time, we'll catch you.